Hey y'all, StephAArmato here from SAArmatoArts. I hope you're having a great time, a great day, whenever you happen to be seeing this. So, let's roll, shall we? Okay, a little bit about me. Hi, if this is you coming back, welcome back. And if you're here new, hey y'all. Alright, so this one's going to be a pick a pile. A little bit of background information. My name is StephAArmato from SAArmatoArts and SAArmatoArts.com. Hi, it's nice to meet y'all. My website will always be a work in progress, but on there you can find more information about me. You can see all the places that I post, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, such. And you can get all the information about me. Or follow me if you want to. More of this, more of me, basically. What's another way to say it? I am a firefighter EMT. I'm a volunteer over 12 years now. So that's fun. That's my normal day job. It's really a night job, but you get it. That's that. I am a reader, right? So I read for people. I deal as a medium and as well as I'm an artist. So let's just go that way. I am the messenger and the message, right? That is the best way to put it. I create things as an artist, but I also consider this part of my arts because this is an art form. I've been somebody who's been reading since I was basically a child. I've always seen dead spirits. I've always seen spirits, the dead, whether it's a ghost, whether it's angels, spirits, beings, gods, goddesses, all of them. Just all the spirits that kind of are roaming and are around people. So here I am using my gifts because that is what spirit gave me. That's what the universe decided that these were the dones that you were going to end up with. So yeah, let's just rock and roll into that, shall we? Thank y'all for dealing with my absence. But anyways, let's roll. If you need a way to contact me, through my website, you can see all the forms of contacting me. If you buy anything to PayPal, make sure your email is up to date so that way I can contact you. Though I have hunted people down through Instagram in a good way. Hunting them down to figure out what is the question you asked for your reading. Makes my life a little bit easier. But WhatsApp is probably the quickest way to contact me. It's kind of like through messages or through emailing me first. But yeah, I use Venmo and PayPal. I have used Zelle before for a couple of people, but usually it's people who I know in person or just in-person readings means that you're in Texas. You're in my area of Texas. Texas is huge in the U.S. So for people that don't know, that's that. All right, y'all, let's get into this. There is 3 piles for you to pick from, okay? I pulled from the Druid Animal Oracle. I do have the book here because remembering keywords is kind of where we're at, and they give you kind of one in front. So this is what it is. It's a new to me deck, not new in the sense like it was published, whatever. But yeah, anyway, I think that's all we need to know. Oh, cats. There's plenty of them. They will show up. So they might fight in the background. They might just have fun. They might just go meow and meow to get my attention or whatever. I'm here. There's that. So yeah, don't be scared. Sometimes I take it as a kind of as a ding, almost like, oh, that's spirit confirming something or saying something, but usually that's just them. They should all be asleep right now. So anyways, let's rock and roll, okay? I'm going to show you the pictures, and then you pick a pile. Basically, that's the best way to put it. So, what we have here, pile 1 is the eagle, okay? Pile 2 is the owl, and pile 3 is the boar, okay? So you can pause here if you need to pick a pile or to pick piles. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you find this, it's meant to find you. That's the best way I always say it. I've had readings kind of pop up while I'm editing, and I'm listening to them 2 years later or 3 years later, and it's like, holy shit, that is still on point, or that is on point now for my life. Oh, crap. I read for myself, so that's what I always say with my readings. But yeah, there's that. All right, y'all. So pick your pile, and then we're going to get started, okay? Let's see. But yeah. Hey, pile 1. So if you're here, you picked the eagle for your pile, basically. That's the best way to put it. So if you pick pile 1, this is kind of the energies and such that you're going to be having for within 30 to 60 days. I'm saying 30 days because these energies can carry over, or like residuals is like sometimes what happens is we do something, right? We do the action or whatever this month and these things happen. And then they carry on into life because this is kind of building upon itself. So let's rock and roll with it. I'm starting out with the Tarot of Vampires, or the Vampire Tarot by Ian Daniels here. So I pulled a couple of cards here. I got paused and roll into that to see what was going on. Anything else? All right, y'all. Let's rock into this, okay? So, for y'all, pile one, who picked the eagle, okay? I'm going to read the 3 keywords to make sure I don't get this wrong because I wouldn't want that. Anyways, so the eagle. This is from the Druid Animal Oracle, the eagle. Intelligence, renewal, and courage. Okay. Gotta remember what I read for that one. So, with this, in this oracle, the eagle represents renewal, courage, determination, finding the way to do things. Working with this energy means that a person is having courage, is doing the things that they need to, the actions they desire, that they wish to complete, that they wish to do, so that way they can have like kind of like spiritual growth, but growth in themselves, and say, oh, I've completed that, now I can complete the thing that's absolutely terrifying me, or I did something that terrified me, so it's a growth of self, right? That's what the eagle is for, okay? So with the cards that I have here, let's rock into this. I basically kind of got a couple here. So this is the first line. I usually go by lines to make my life a little bit easier, kind of like groups of how they pull out and whatnot, because they relate to each other. That's how I just read. So here I have the 3 of Skulls. Don't focus on me, focus on the card. Okay. 3 of Skulls. I have the Hierophant. Yep. Okay, the Hierophant. And then I have the 2 of Wands. Or scepters. The 3 of Skulls is the 3 of Coins, or the 3 of Pentacles, and it is building. It is starting new things. It's very interesting. There is a little bit of nudity in this deck, just FYI, but this isn't meant for kids anyways. She's building, she's starting to weave things, she's starting to weave up patterns, she's weaving, can we focus? Trying to figure out. Weaving the web, weaving what she desires and what she's having. So it's a beautiful card. This deck is absolutely beautiful, and it's not that expensive either. But anyways, we have Mars here in the background on the spider that's weaving the web. And I find that she's taking the web and she's weaving yarn with it, basically. She's spinning yarn. So it's very interesting when you look at it, because she's starting to build. She's using what she has. She's using the first ways and starting along the journey of building and constructing what she wants, right? So she's taking the chance. She's like, okay, I'm getting a little bit of materials. I'm going to start walking around. I'm going to start doing the things that I desire, that I wish for, and finding the things that are best for me. For this, it includes things that your spirits and your guides are here and they've given you. You either notice that there's some things that Spirit has been giving you, like signs that it's time to move on. It's time to move. It's time to make the decisions in your life that you've always kind of hoped for. You always thought about, oh, if I make small decisions here, well, Spirit's telling you, make that jump. Do the things that you wanted to. Do the things that you've dreamt of doing, okay? Because here's the Hierophant. It's Major Arcana, okay? Major Arcana is things, there's major and there's minor arcana in the tarot. Minor arcana are things that are mundane, things that happen day-to-day life, things that change, such growth, spiritual improvement, stuff like that. But the major arcana, the Hierophant is number 5. Right? So major arcana are things that your spirits, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, and other beings that are around you that are supporting you or desiring for you to do well, wish for you to know. These are the major themes. These are overall encompassing. These are archetypes in your life. So the Hierophant, for people that don't know, the Hierophant talks a lot about knowing what you desire, knowing what you want, and them supporting you is the best way to put it in this form. Okay, I always talk about the Hermit and the Hierophant, the difference between, right? The Hermit very much has to go into solitude, in moments of solitude, to find himself. The Hierophant has spent time alone because he has desired and knows that there's a lot that's happened in my life. I've completed a lot of things. I know a lot of things. And now I'm at peace with myself. So if I spend time alone, it's because I enjoy my own company. I've learned lessons. And the lessons that if I decide that I need to learn more, I will go out and seek it. That's what that is. Next to the Two of Swords. Two of Scepters, or the Two of Wands. Okay, the Two of Wands is where you are starting to get onto the ship. Okay, you're getting onto the ship, you're starting to do it, you have the means, and now you're kind of like figuring out what you want to do. Now, Wands signifies things that are like your job, it's your work, it's things that, you know, you're starting to really go for. This is career, these are these aspects. Okay, with the Three of Skulls, I feel like you are starting to build wealth. You are coming together and getting a savings, or you're doing something like that. And your spirits and your guides want to know that go after the dreams that you have been, instead of just standing still. Instead of being on the edge, waiting for the ship, go out and find something. Go out and find what you've actually wanted to and start making those ways around it, okay? Because we have amazing things coming to you, okay? I have here, this is the Six of Scepters, or the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands talks about being popular, that people like talking to you, they like giving you stuff, they like being there and present. Next to the Two of Cups, okay? I don't know if this is in case you're looking for love, or in case you're looking for better relationships and stuff. This is definitely there, okay? Very much so. We have the Six of Scepters, which is the Six of Wands. It's such as people are praising you, you're getting all this attention, it's victory, it's that really in a card. It's beautiful in the sense that vampires talk about in this deck, right? Things with blood mean that they are more than life. They are life itself. They're talking about an amazing growth and being and such. As you can see, that blood is dripping from him and such like that. Means he had a full meal kind of thing in this vampire world, and where this story takes place in these cards, right? And I find it very interesting because it's like you have defeated the things that are necessary with those that are next to you that care for you, right? You are the one being supported. You did the things that are necessary. You've accomplished the things and hoping for, and are now building new relationships, or having a new relationship. This can be that you're finally going to have somebody in your life that you've desired for. This can be that it's not just in relationships around like friends and such, but now you can focus on having a relationship. If you wanted a relationship at any point, then this is what it is, right? That it's just like spirits telling you to stop standing on the sidelines and go after what you want, because you will have victory achieving it. Okay, now I see that you've gone through a lot of things. Okay, usually when things that talk about determination, such as this eagle and whatnot, come forward, it tells me that you've had to go through a lot, especially with the Strength card coming out. This is also major arcana, okay? And you also have the Death card here. Don't freak, okay? The Death card talks about hope and such, of everything that has happened and now that has left your life. You need to understand that death is the time where we come back to ourselves. As you see, she is resting. She is resting. She is coming back to ourselves. She's coming back to who she is and who we are and what you desire and what you want for. You're coming back into your body and into your own consciousness. With the Strength card here, it tells me that you've had to, this is a beautiful card, right? She's having to keep the panther on a leash, and she's holding the panther on a leash right here, and she's like, I'm going through it and I'm keeping balance and I'm doing the things necessary, and even though life has thrown so much chaos at me, I can succeed. I know I have to, because I want so much more from life, and you will have it. You will attain it. That is not a question of whether you will or won't. You will. Just Spirit is basically talking about you being an active being. Why are you still standing there? Like, standing there and knowing everything is great, but if you want something, you have to go after it, right? That's the whole reason, all the stuff for it, all of it and such, okay? So release the things that have happened in the past that you felt have been so hard, and they've toughened you up, and they've hurt you, and they've caused problems, and they've done things to you, right? Breathe. Okay, there's so much more that's coming, and so much good, and the things you've always wanted can bud from this. Okay, another thing that could be is that you might need to shed who it was at that time. Okay, one of those things that we talk about here is therapy. Not necessarily that you need it, but everyone can benefit from it. It's a good thing to go to or to think of or to find things. There's a YouTube explanation of talking about this, but one of the things is that we have to shed our old selves to release and to have our new self be born. Okay, I will speak from the experience. I was with an abusive ex-partner, right? And with that, I had to shed who was protective of it. I ended up being very protective, being very high vigilance. I still have my high vigilance hold up. That didn't go away, right? But I had to learn to love again. I had to learn to be vulnerable again. And these walls that I had built to support and to be able to stand where I was in that situation, right? In that really bad situation and abusive and such, and to take it until I left, right? And then I noticed that I had these walls when not everybody was out to get me, right? That if I decide to go into another relationship, I need to understand that I can release these walls. I can let them fall. I can let them go down. I can breathe. I can allow it. You know, I can allow vulnerability, because vulnerability is its own strength, right? To be able to accept another person. That's mine, right? Then mine is a bit more emotional. It might be also what you have, but if you haven't gone through that, I'm not saying that you will. So whatever you had to do, if you had to basically become, if you had to become the most forceful, cutthroat person in your work, right? And now you're like, I wish to invite in calm, peace, such. You can, all right? Allow and find the things that trigger you and be like, and it takes time and it takes healing, but it's here that you can. All right, that's basically what I'm getting from that. Okay, let's see what else. Basically, this is the themes and the such that and the aspects that we can expect in the next month and so. So now let's figure out what are things that will happen, right? There's a Lenormand deck. This is called Under the Roses Lenormand. It's very pretty. It's a smaller deck. It's a smaller theme, and it's absolutely amazing. It's very good at what it is. I love my decks. I keep around tools that I enjoy working with, right? It's just me. So let's see what things can happen, because I'm seeing here a relationship. I'm seeing here a little something with the emotions and stuff. So I'm curious about what that is and such. And for these things that you're going to overcome, I would like to see if maybe there's something you need to know. Maybe this will tell you the event that will give you the light, or the thing that happens, and this is what's giving it to you. Or maybe you've already started. But let's see what's going on. Okay. Alright, so basically I got 3 cards here, and I have the pair. Blink, blink, blink. Sorry, I got that from, oh god, I will have to tag her below. She's amazing. What's her name? Ashley King. That's what it is. She's amazing at work and stuff. So just in case you're looking to boost up your work and your career and stuff, she's amazing if you're trying to work for yourself and stuff like that, and like be social media and stuff. Like, she's amazing at that. I'd have to tag her below, like who I mentioned. But why I'm talking about that is because I have the gentleman and the lady, and this is that pair. Okay, in this deck, you can choose to have both pairs or choose to have the thing. They basically give you different options of people, right? Of the lady and the gentleman and whatnot. And I feel like these are based on ages, right? As someone who is Latina, somebody who, is not necessarily white to begin with, right? I decided, okay, we'll keep this in, and like if they match, then they're the match and such. And then there's also there's another gentleman, lady, and child card. In this deck. There's 2 children, 2 ladies, and 2 gentlemen. That's why I bought it. I really like the idea, and I keep them all, and it kind of gives me different, I feel like, emotions and stuff depending on what it feels. But this is this pair, right? This is the gentleman, the lady that go the pair together. Okay, right here. So if you're looking for a relationship, I'm so excited for you, because it's gonna come. Now, this might have to be something with that vulnerability. You've had to stand strong so long, but you can allow yourself to be vulnerable, okay? Just trust your intuition. Be like, okay, can I be with that person? Can I not be with this person, okay? Especially because I have this whip here. This whip talks about fights. It talks about problems. It talks about family or marital problems at one point, or relationship problems. Let me see what else I got here. They will be solved. Anything else? They will be solved, and you will find who it was either based on rumors, or you will find the information out through rumors or through people telling you, or through indirectly hearing things and being like, that's where those problems came from. Or if you found somebody cheating on you at one point and this is the kind of strength that you had to be, and you're like, I want to walk away so bad. Well, you can, especially if someone has treated you as if you are just an option, right? That's straight up. As somebody, abusive ex-partner, right? And almost, I'm going to be real, every relationship I'd been with previous to that I'd had to leave because of cheating, right? The bird does not, okay, the quote is, the bird trusts not the branch it lands on, but its own wings, right? Trusting yourself and knowing what you're going to do with that. Knowing, that's the reason why we get in relationships. We're like, if something goes bad, I trust myself to make the right decision. That's what relationships are about. So, what I mean by that, with the whip here, and the tree and the mice, okay? So, this might be a relationship ending because you find there's more other people in the relationship. This can be that you also find that, you know, people around you are telling you and explaining, like, you're not the same person, you're not okay, like, are you okay, are you doing all right, like, what's going on? This can just be family, extra people involved. This can be mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, other people, just up in your business, and you realizing, is this worth it? No. You know what? You can keep that. Bye. Truly, sometimes it takes for us to have a bad relationship, or to just have something that happens, pushes beyond any boundary we've had, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get walked over. Thank you fucking very much. Okay? Glad to hear it. Nice to meet you. Alright, so for my group 1, do understand that you will have a happy relationship, or you will be opening back up to have another relationship, perhaps. And for those people that are in a relationship that isn't good right now, it's okay to seek help. It's okay to, if you need to find resources outside of that person, or to find people that don't talk to that person. And therapy, counseling, or such. And if you can't get that help, it's okay to walk away, even if it's not something that's that extreme. And you're like, hey, the things just don't match. Like, we don't see eye to eye. I'm pulling the whole relationship. They don't want it anymore, obviously, or they say they do. No action. It's time to leave. It's time to move. It's time to this. It's okay to do that, because we have new relationships coming in. Not because only that, but because you deserve better. You deserve happiness just as much as your spirits desire that for you, and with the dream in mind that you've hoped for more, it will come. All right? Excuse me. So, that's that. Let's see what we can get from a room for you. Okay? We're gonna put this aside. What energies are going to cover, right? What energies can we expect? Okay, here we go. It makes sense. Okay, so I have 2 runes here. One sec. All right, I picked them. All right, so we have radio. This is just flipped over. It's not backwards or anything. Radio and Perth. All right, radio. What does radio signify, and what is his energies? It's the wheel. It's the wheel, it's time, it's the change of the seasons. It's such, you know, whenever I think of it, I think of the journey, I think of messages, I think of so much. I think of so much stuff, that things change and life goes on, kind of thing. All right. And with Perth here, Perth, this is destiny. It's a mystery. It's initiation. It's the divine. It's the mysteries of life, right? Seeing these 2 things, know that the darkness and the unknown is not a curse, but a blessing to you. Okay? If you've ever wondered that, is this the best life could give me? It's not. Okay? We learn our lessons and we find what actually brings us joy. All right? If you're here for that, that's what that is. Okay? So these are going to follow you on, and understand that mysteries, sorry, trying to hold them both up. I'm going to get a little bit. Know that times change and the seasons change, and we grow and we change with it. But you don't have to always be scared of change, right? Because sometimes the unknown will give us a person, right? And for you, it feels like a person will show up in your life, and it just made it worth it. You're like, I click with this person that I never thought I could click with, right? It That's what that is. If it's a better job and it's better money and it's better situation, then you're like, wow, I never knew that this would be where I was at. That is what your future self is telling you. Okay? So I hope that this helps you out and this interests you and this gets your attention for the next time. Okay? And with this, know that seasons change and know that there's so much more. There's mysteries and the secrets that the universe is going to show to you. Basically, they are bringing you this, and know that the unknown isn't meant to scare you. Okay, it's meant for you to be like, okay, I'll take this. A lot of people always talk about like, oh, should I do this or whatever? Yeah, do it scared. Why? Be honest, be humble with yourself, and if you make a mistake, it's okay. We are not infallible, but we are also ever changing and growing, and that is one of the things that a lot of people don't understand between the universe and us. Because we can make mistakes, because we can learn here, and that's what we came to do, right? That's what we did, right? That's what we're doing. A lot of people don't talk about, but I will, as somebody who deals with the dead, spirits, beings, angels, ancestors, the dead in all forms, whether they are ghosts that haunt or are stuck to places, or spirits that are now going to continue and are going into the next life or even reincarnated in such. All of these, right? A lot of people don't understand why angels or gods think a certain way. And it's because feelings are humans. Feeling is really something that humans do because we have a body. We have what some people call a meat suit, right? Or as our container, right? A lot of these spirits don't feel the feelings that we do through themselves because they haven't been in these bodies. They haven't done these other things. They've done other things because that is where they're meant to do. That's their journeys, their aspects. That's what they are, right? So when we in humans feeling, understanding, and learning, your spirits want you happy. A lot of spirits will be like, I can feel they're sad, but I don't know what to do because I can only do so much. You can ask them for help, and it's okay too, all right? There's so much beauty and so much amazing things. Release the things that don't serve you and find the things that do, walk towards it, because inaction means that we're just accepting what's going on, right? But if we take those actions towards what we want and make that goal, that's where it's at. All right, y'all. You take the advice, you can leave it, whatever helps. But I hope this helps you out. And in case I see you in the other ones, I'll see you in a little bit. And if in case I don't see you till the next one, I hope you have a great one. All right. Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hello to my group, too. How are y'all? If you're here, you picked the owl. Okay? Pretty thing. Anyways. 2 birds. Dang. Okay. Anyways, it's from the Druid Animal Oracle. I am using this thing so I can remember what the keywords are because I've read most of them. Just doing my best to remember and to draw back and to use the memory and stuff because I work with so many tools. So we're going to rock with this one. All right. So the owl. I will not be saying the Gaelic name. Not bad, y'all. Okay. So detachment, wisdom, and change. Okay. So rocking back into that. All right, so the owl here symbolizes a lot of things, but it symbolizes how they only come out at night. It can be it can be magic in its own right. It can be occult knowledge. It can be just knowledge in a certain way. But when I read it, the owl is talked about as somebody who took disadvantages and made it work for them. Right? Because they're one of the few animals that hunt at night, right? Which is hard to see anyways. One of them right there. One of the night creatures is right there because of my cats. But anyways. I find it very interesting because also in here we have a little skull. I find it very interesting. It's almost like it found something. But yeah. And then there's another one here. I guess they're charms on the tree. So yeah. Anyways. Let's rock with this. This is detachment, wisdom, taking a disadvantaged, something that's a little bit rough and making an advantage with just what you're learning, what you're growing, what you know, and understanding just that, right? So let's rock and roll. Okay, I'm going to use a tarot now. I think I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use, actually, you know what? since it talks about being slightly spiritual and being somebody who finds things during the night and such. Sorry, cat. I'm gonna take him and show y'all him in a little bit, but I'm just gonna do that here. So, good. Instead, I'm gonna use the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot. I have to write it down in the caption, but that's what we're gonna be using here, since it talks about how magical it is, and explain this to have a little bit of time. I remember what page it was. Okay, here we go. Detachment, wisdom, and change, right? You can feel drawn to study esoteric lore or clairvoyancy. Talks about all this amazing kind of stuff. And the owl has exceptional hearing to pick out and swoop on an unsuspected prey at night. For most birds, coming to the dark renders it impossible to lead, but the owl has used it to its advantage, right? So, yeah, let's rock with that. But it talks about change and learning and growing and just taking what you have and making it work with you with your knowledge, basically, is what that is. So, I find it's beautiful. Whenever you read knowledge, it is always talking about wisdom, how, you know, sometimes it's depicted in many myths, right, that they see an owl and it could be death, or it could be that one of the goddesses are protecting them and such, you know. It's just all sorts of beautiful things are explained with the owl. I've actually have 2 of them that have visited multiple times in my backyard. I live in Texas, in the US, so of course that's kind of their running background. There's plenty of them around here. It's hot as hell though, let me tell you. Whew! I wonder how those little creatures are working around. The amount of skunks and possums that I'm finding in my yard is ridiculous. So, anyways, let's rock on into this, shall we? Let's see how many cards come out and what you need to know for the 30. The energy may carry over into 60 days, as in like compounding. Like, basically, some stuff will happen here within the 30 days and they continue to move and you'll build upon it as you continue. So, let's see what that is. Especially because runes for me, are very much like 2 month, 3 month, 4, 5, 6 months of energy, right? I always say if somebody wants to know what the energy is for the month of rune, it's either a month, 3 months, or 6 months. That's just how I roll with it. Because energy changes, but this kind of is consistent, like things that you'll have. Right? So what do you, pile 2, need to know for the next 30 days, really? And into 60 days. Anything else? Ooh. Alright, what wake-up call are we talking about here? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. You got it. Let's rock and roll, shall we? Anyways. Got that. Excuse me. I need to get some water real quick. Sorry. I had to drink something. Because life. I can't be having open bottles or open cups of tea in here because the amount of hair. I am fixing that, okay? I just got to vacuum again, which is typical of my life. But yeah, let's work into this. Okay, cool. All right, what do I have here? So, first thing I have here is the Emperor, 4 of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the World. Okay, cool. But let's talk about this first that caught my attention. Okay. I have the Judgment. Judgment is Major Arcana. It's number 20. Okay. Major Arcana is themes that your spirits, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, spirits that work with you, that protect you, and have decided to be part of your life in this lifetime, right? As a person who sees them, who deals with the spirits, the deities, such, all the beings, right? Because they walk among us. They always have. But they protect the people who work with them, right? Or who they were meant to, who they signed up for, kind of thing. That's how it is. It's kind of like a contract thing. But rocking into this is a major theme or archetype, okay? Minor arcana are the things that are minor, normal daily life, mundane things that happen. You get in a fight, you get into this, you having to understand that you need to take action here, this, that, all that stuff, right? Versus major arcana is your archetypes, your main themes, the overarching stuff of your life, kind of. That's the best way to put that. Sorry, I'm having to kick my little kitty out. Let's see if I can grab him. Let's see if I can grab him for y'all. think. Hello. Hi. You can't play with my cards. He will. He always does. Alright. Come on. Come on up here. Come on. Come on up there. Come on. He doesn't want to go in there for now. This is kind of like a cat treat. That's what that is. Hi. Okay, sorry. Took up some of your time. Anyways, let's rock into this. This decision that you're having a wake-up call from, right? Because this is the overarching. It's, you have another major arcana over here, which is the World and the Emperor. But what are we getting a wake-up call from? What have you had a wake-up call or a spirit trying to basically blaring at you and being like, hey, good morning. Who the hell are you? Hey, this, that. We are talking to you. Wake up. Stop being in La La Land. This is not okay. This is not good for you. And you know it's not good for you. That's what that is. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. 8s talk about how we are building, but we have taken moments to look back. We've taken moments that, was it better back then than it is now? You know, it's kind of like the grass is green on the other side, except the past. Oh, it's so much work now doing what I thought was easy back then. Am I getting too old for this? And am I getting too aged for this? I'll use my example for firefighting. Okay, like I tell you, my knees are not the same. It's been 12 years, and let me tell you, they are not the same. And I'm like, damn, it was so much easier to do 20 push-ups back then. Now, okay, we can do them, but I'm out of breath. Oh, God, I got to go do some more cardio, which I have done. Okay, that example was when I took quite a bit of a break, like a couple months in between. It was like, dang, when I get out of shape in between a month and a half. Well, here you go. Good morning. This is why we work out every day, right? So for my job, that's what that is. But basically same concept, okay? It's like, man, I used to be able to run 20 laps back then. And now I can't, running the 20 laps, holy crap. I feel like I'm not doing what I used to do. If you're somebody who was very, very good at mathematics, you could recall these formulas really quickly. And then now you're like, dang, I'm having to go back to my notes and remember that. It's kind of like after a spring break or after a long break, or a summer break and such, and coming back to it, whether it was winter break or whatnot, depending where you are in the world, right? I'm from Texas, and that's how it is. You have a spring break, then you have a winter break that's in between the semesters, so that way you can do that, or the summer, right? Holy crap. 3 months of not having to do the work. If you didn't practice it and you say you're learning a language or something, and you're like, oh my God, I think I'm not as quick with it. I'm not as fast with it, right? These are examples and things that, anecdotes and stories that can help you relate. And that's the whole point I say things and such. Good storyteller, right? Being able to put pieces and parts and help humans do this, right? So you have been looking back. You're like, dang, this was so much easier back then. Dang, this was so much easier to gain wealth. Like maybe you stopped doing some work, right? You're coming back into the workforce, or you're coming back into a job that you absolutely love. Like, I don't know, maybe you're a reader. Maybe you're somebody who worked in social media, right? You worked for art, advertising, marketing, something, and you're like, wow, it's not the same anymore. Like trends change, things are different, right? Whatever it is that you were doing that was making money or that was becoming more financial wealth building, such maybe houses, right? You used to be an electrician or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm giving examples so that way you understand what I'm talking about. This wake-up call is saying that just because life was different back then and now you're like, crap, is this meant for me? Should I continue pursuing it? Yes, because this is what gave you stability, right? But do understand that it is not the same way that you were, right? Something that I always think about, people talk about in not just the fire department, but in other places. One second. Oh yeah, sorry. Had to move a couple of them. One's there, and I think one's up there. Or something. I don't know. I'm seeing a foot there and a foot there. Anyways, sorry, I had to pause. They get a little angsty after a couple hours, and they're like, I want attention. Why aren't you giving me attention? Give me attention, right? Little creatures. That's what they are. They're basically my babies. Anyways, basically going back to this with the Eight of Pentacles, this is things that you've looked back on. Money is a little bit tougher now, or you're like, man, I used to make like shit ton of money. Like I was somebody, if you did like commission work, right? And you were like, hey, I used to sell like 3 dryers a day, and that would be a shit ton of money. Or I would sell 5 houses or something like that. If that's what it was like, dang, it was a lot easier. Now I feel slower. Now it feels like I can't do as much. That's okay. Like, it's okay. It's a wake-up call to try a different way. The old way's not working, so we have to figure out what does, right? We have to figure out what does now. What does work for me? What's the best way to build stability? What's the best way for me not to be filled with fear and allowing it to eat at me, okay? So this is the Emperor, which is Major Arcana, right? The Emperor talks about the stability and becoming our best solid selves. That's the best way to put that. So the Emperor's very big into that. The Four of Cups is where we feel lost. We feel lost at sea. We feel like we've lost so much. We feel like it's an overwhelm of how do I seek out? How do I get out of the situation? Is there a way out? Like, that's really what this Four of Cups is telling me. Now, in this deck, they talk about each card has a ghost story attached to it. Very pretty. I've read quite a few of them, but I haven't gotten to all of them. And recall. Such. But with this one, it just feels the overwhelm. I can feel from this it's kind of interesting how this is on top of the water, right? And then he's underneath it, okay? Allowing yourself to have the stability enough to balance your life, right? Not allowing your emotions to take over and feel this desire or this overwhelm that I was not meant to continue this, right? That things have changed and I shouldn't continue this career path. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to. This is the Knight of Cups. Knights are things that move, things that go by, things that continue, things that are like that, really. So this is beautiful because it's Knight of Cups. When I think of the Knight of Cups, I think of somebody bringing you an offer, bringing you something that like, oh crap, I never thought I'd get this. Or, oh crap, like this is the beginning of something new or a new relationship or something like this. This is what that feels like. But I almost wonder if your stability that we were talking about is more of a home. It was more like your home life, your kids, your matrimony, your stuff, right? The things that were there. And now you're looking back and saying, man, was it better if I stayed married to him? Man, would it have been better there? Yeah, but you wouldn't have been happy. That overwhelm, those energies, those emotions, they're coming from having left, right? It doesn't mean that you have to leave your marriage or anything like that. I'm just saying that might be the situation that you're in. If that's not you, don't date it, you know? That's just how it is, okay? But for y'all, it feels like it's more like I had to leave something or I had to go through with this, right? Especially to get where I want to go. This is the world. This is a new chapter. This is why I say that if somebody had to leave a relationship, I get that. If somebody had to leave a house, like you were not happy there. You know, you were not happy with that situation. Like you knew for a fact you'd been there so long that you need to leave, right? Then a lot of people talk about they'll stay for the kids, and then when the kids turn 18, the parents are like, I've been done with you forever. Or there was a truce, I'm out. Right? That's happened to a lot of people, right? That's what I've seen a lot of people do. And then I've seen some that are like, man, things just didn't go and I had to leave, and things happen, right? Money is a big thing that likes to break up relationships. So in case that's what it is and you're not able to see eye to eye, like, it's understandable. Okay? It's understandable to have doubts or to have things, but don't let this overwhelm be the only thing that you see. Okay? In case that you are trying to repair it and you allow yourselves that, and you do, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear it. But for other people, this is going to be something new. This is going to be like a new relationship, a new thing, because it's a new chapter in your life. This is the World card. This is Major Arcana as well. This is all about that turning of that page, that beauty in its essence, and that newness of what's going on. Okay. I also have the Three of Wands here. So I say it's the new stuff. Okay. Three of Wands, as you can see, they're making like a pact. Okay. Kind of with this spirit. It's the third spirit and the two people. The Three of Wands is when you get onto the ship. When you have stopped waiting at the pier, looking at the ships, and decided, I'm going to take my life by the horns, by the head, by the everything. I'm going to head on, try this. I'm going to go after it. Right? That's what it gives it. This is having that conversation and understanding where things came from in the spirit head on, right? I need to learn what that one is. I'm gonna have to read the ghost story for that one because it's pretty. It's nice. It's not too long. It's like page or two. It's got a little booklet in there, but it's so interesting. So interesting than this. But for you, it's really, really interesting because you have this new start, this new relationship that can come about it, this new learning or this new something. Don't allow this overwhelm to shake you so bad that there is no moving forward, because there is forward to move to, okay? Whatever you're looking back at, don't allow it to just make it that there's nothing else for you to do. I feel like I should pull this one card, sorry. If there's a betrayal of some sort, know that you can still rebuild yourself. Because this card came out in the previous one, I almost wonder if that's something interesting to you, or that might be a pile that you've already listened to or something. But yeah, that came out in the last one. But that doesn't mean you have to, just in case it calls out to you. But the 7 of Knives talks about a betrayal or somebody being there, or somebody in someone's ear talking, having a conversation, and feeling like you don't have power, right? In case there's that, know that you can build from new, build from start. If you feel like there were terrible people who pushed your boundaries, you can get rid of them and then start over. You can continue that, okay? You can find things that make you happy and that don't feel the loss, because so much change is here. So much growth is here. This is the Chariot Major Arcana. Now this one is the Tarot of Vampires from Ian Daniels. So there's that. All right, I'm supposed to pick from that. I was not supposed to pick from another thing, but a little something. Yeah, let's see what will happen on the physical plane. What will happen on the physical plane? Just so interested. Okay, we're going to put it from the other deck. This deck or this deck? This deck. Okay. Alright. So I got the anchor. And this one's from... what's this one called? Under the Rose is Lenormand. So, that's what this is called. It's a smaller deck. It's very pretty and stuff like that. But yeah, that's not what the one that wanted to be pulled for. But I got the anchor from it. Solid, knowing, spirit telling you that you're going to get solid. You're about to find the things that keep you centered, that keep you where you want to be. And you're like, that is my reason to live. This is my reason to continue. This is what I'm aiming to do. Okay. What we can expect for the next 30 days. Or I want 30. Okay. What can we expect? All right. You're about to find out. Somebody, that enemy situation thing, you're going to find, okay, definitely, what else is this? All right, this is very specific and it might be for one person, but whatever enemy was causing you misfortune by speaking in your ear, you know, acting like they're a friend when you know they're not, fortune is on your side. Fortuna. Okay? Fortuna is on your side. Okay? And I need you to know that the journey will continue. Okay? This might be that you're in a relationship and somebody was speaking bad, or you find that somebody was cheating on you, or you just find that other people were talking to him and spreading rumors about you that were baseless. Whatever it was, whatever this misfortune that this enemy was trying to create, it will not touch you. It will not hurt you in the way that they were intending. That your marriage would be broken up, if that's what it is. Or if your relationship would be broken up, or this new relationship that you get into, they're trying to steal your man from you or some shit. That's not what that is. You don't have to worry about it, because I have Fortuna and then I have marriage. I have completion. I have long-term relationship. I have these things, okay? When I see this is the completion of something. This is Fortuna's protecting you. So your spirits, your guides, your stuff are making sure that it won't touch you that way. That no matter what people that want to foil you or hurt you, their plans are going to foil. So that's what that is. Especially because I have amazing things of gift, some money. You might win some lotto. You might win a promotion at work. That might be what that is. And I have journey. Usually the journey is slow, but I feel like you're going to be getting promotions, money, little things here, inheritances, things like that. Even though I don't see any death here or anything like that, which that is one of the cards, that's an inheritance, that's a something. But this journey, as you continue with this work or with this relationship or with this new stuff that's coming into your life, new relationships and such, they're going to be more solid. Spirit's granting you favors, and they're going to see who you are as a real person and not be judging of you and not be worried about you, okay? This person cannot come into your life and cannot hurt you. They will be coming here and you'll notice it from the very beginning. You're like, you have no power here. You don't give them power because you're solid in who you are, okay? So, for this troubles and stuff that you've had to deal with and these kind of wake-up calls that you're having, find your balance. Know that if this relationship that you're in is not meant for you and you're starting anew and stuff, have faith in yourself and have faith in the new stuff. And if you're having in this relationship currently, or if you're in this kind of stuff, whether it's work, but it feels like it's with people, right? It just feels like it's with people. Relationships and such in the emotional realm, because I'm just getting a bunch of that, right? Take things head on. Know that you're protected and have those conversations. And if you find stuff out and you're like, I have my boundary set, whatever is needed to happen is happening, right? And you'll be getting some type of money, some type of gifts, some type of things. It might be a new, might be reconciliation. That could be a thing. I don't know. I've got pieces and parts, right? I can't go into as specific as if it was a new reading for someone, but I try to get into it and give you the energies and such that's around here now. Figure out what the energy for the running into here with the runes is. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get rid of that one here. So, let me get my thing out real quick. All right, y'all. So I picked two. Right? You almost had a third come out, but it was flipped over, so it was no. Anyways, we have Wunjo, and then Jetta. So Jetta is year, okay, and Wunjo, sorry, they're not flipped backwards. That's just my camera is. Wunjo is harmony. It's blessings. It's your joy. It's the amazingness that we wish for. And this is the year. This is the new stuff coming. This is the growth. This is just everything. It's rewards, it's peace, it's honesty. It's things coming to completion in the sense, not like Rad, which is like a new season and like just seasons of growth and change. This is like the year is coming to it and our blessings are here and the rewards of the year are here, and just it's like that. I like this. Okay, so know that spirit is on your side. You're going to find a lot of things change during this. Wow, that's a lot of change. Whether relationships, whether things around you, whether just work. This could be work, but I feel like it's more people, just in case for this group. Take what works and what doesn't. Just leave it here and know that that's not for you. But yeah, that's what that is. So I hope that this helps you out, and I hope that this gives you a little something to look forward to. If it does, I'd love to hear about it. You can comment down below on YouTube, but if not, it's okay. But I'm excited to hear from you. All right, gonna go to my third people. All right, bye. Oh, you can pick multiple. Remember, this is endless. Whatever you need to, and if this is the only time I see you this time, bye. And I hope that everything's well, and see you next time. And if this is end of that, then I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye. Hey y'all, hello group 3. So if you're here, you picked the Boar. Hopefully that was correct. In frame. Looking if it's in frame. That's basically what it is. So this is from the Druid Animal Oracle here. Oh, I have my finger where I'm supposed to read. So read some. Need to remember what's reading from some. Basically new to me, right? So I've read some of it and need to get into it and remembering what's what. So what does the boar signify, right? In to the druids, it says leadership, direction, and the warrior spirit. As someone who is indigenous, what? It's a little bit of a like. to myself, and now I realize why I use it more as an oracle. As I keep reading things, I'm like, some things don't seem to match up, or some things are a little different. Anyways, basically it's explaining about leader, direction, and being courageous in some sense. It's very interesting how they describe it and such. Each of these animals has kind of like a couple of tails attached to it, which is plenty of lore. When they talk about leadership and they talk about determination, it's because boars are very stubborn animals, right? Like, let's be real, right? The boar is considered very stubborn. Talks about like the trails and how they're very well at tracking things, very well at not necessarily being courageous, but determined. They're like, I know I have to get something done, so you do it, right? So that's what the boar represents here. I'm also going to pull from a tarot here to make sure. It's a little animal that I'm always like, I've read it a couple times now, and I'm like, what? Putting together a couple things. I've noticed that this book, the way that it's written in the English, I guess, is England English, or like from the UK-ish, versus this, and sometimes it's hard to understand, just truly. But anyways, it kind of talks about the determination and that there's so much to learn from this animal, that he really does continue down the path. He does the things necessary. He really makes his own life. He forges his own path, kind of. That's basically what this animal signifies. And that's the best way I've come to understand it. So that's what the boar signifies. Let's get what we can get from the 30 days into 60. Why I keep saying that? Because this is meant to be within the next 30 days, but because it can continue and build upon it for the next month as well. Like, these are the events that will happen. This is what's going to be happening here in these 30 days. And then the next month, it's basically going to add to that, right? Like, an event happens and then another happens because you've already done this first event, right? It just continues to grow. That's what life is about, right? Things will continue along our journey, and we acquire things, we gain things, we lose things, we change things, right? That's the whole point. And I feel like that's what this boar signifies here for you as well. So, trying to figure out which one was to talk to you about the boar. All right. So, we're going to use the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot. But it's a beautiful deck, and each one has a little ghost story attached to it and whatnot. But as I also read tarot, and I get feelings and such, because I'm a medium as well as an artist and somebody who has gifts. That's what that is. All right, let's see what's going to come up for the next 30 days. Or into a month, I don't know. But we'll try 30 days here. All right. Anything else? Ooh. Okay. Let's go on to this. All right. So, what we have here is I pulled multiple. How interesting. Okay. So, what we have is we do have, okay, so it's not just minor arcana. All right, cool. So let's talk about major and minor arcana. Major arcana, this one is the High Priestess, right? The High Priestess number 2. Major arcana explain the archetypes, the overarching things, the themes of our lives that we go through, and that your spirits, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, humans, are spirits that are being around you, that have taken up to protect you and to be present in this life with you. This is what they would like to remind you, or to say, hey, look, this is what's going on. These are an overarching things. This is what they want to tell you. That's how I've always said it. So yeah, with the High Priestess here, there's so much knowledge that you have. There's so much intuition that you have, that I'm just very curious at all of this that's going on. That's the best way to put it. I feel like you intuitively know that there's a lot of things happening or coming into your life. Wow, isn't it a beautiful thing? What I have here is I have the Queen of Swords. Okay, the Queen of Swords, the way that she's calling out and crying is very interesting, because the Queen of Swords usually is someone that has to take up arms, has to take up what they feel, and has to forego it and do the best that they can with their knowledge and use it and wield it as a sword, wield it to be able to balance for the people, right? That's what a queen is in the aspects and stuff, is she is the compartment, no, the I don't know if you want to see my cats, but that one's catching my attention right now. She's just like, can you pet me? They're like that. Anyways, with the High Priestess, and the Queen of Swords takes up her knowledge and she does whatever is best for the people as much as she can, and enough to get the stability and the stuff back to basically do that. She can also be very manipulative. But usually it's where you wield your knowledge and you're seen as sometimes cold. You're seen as sometimes someone who does whatever needs to happen at any cost because, well, it needs to happen, right? It just depends. Some people see it as the Queen of Swords. It's like, oh, it's somebody who wields her knowledge and absolutely doesn't care for other people's thoughts. You know, a bitch. But being a bitch is sometimes necessary because you know your boundaries. You know what's needed within your life, within your home, within your things, within such, right? But you understand that you have to wield things according to your wishes and according to your dreams. These things need to happen. These plans need to happen. These things need to, so that way you can achieve your dreams. I have the Star card here, which is also Major Arcana. It's number 17. How pretty. It gives magic all over the place. And I love how we have determination here with the Boar, and it just makes sense for the Queen of Swords. She's like, I'm determined to succeed, and I'm gonna use my knowledge, the things that I have here, and I'm going to succeed. I'm going to find the things that I need to. I'm going to do the things and forge what I want to, so that way my dreams can attain. I can attain my dreams. I can do the thing. If I want to graduate, I need to do what's necessary, right? Not necessarily be the most cutthroat person off the block, but if you need to, like, you get it. Right? There's so much intuition that you know what needs to be done, and you're going to be doing it. You need to do it, and you've asserted yourself enough that you're like, I'm going to do it scared, but I got to do this, right? In this deck, they have an extra card here, which is this one. It's got no name, and for me, it's an intuition card. I have them in my playing cards and stuff, that if I get an extra card, I stick it in there, and then I use my intuition for whatever else and visions and things that spirits would like to give me. Okay, so it's very interesting how we have in the background another face, and she's just feeling and sensing and being like, okay, there's so much for me to do, and I feel like there's so much overwhelm in this card. That might be what you're feeling. There's so much overwhelm that people are just talking, and I know what I want, but how do I actually take the action to do it? Well, think about what you wish for. Keep that in mind and keep that as your light. This is the 10 of Cups. Now, 10s are beautiful in the sense. They are the completion of the cycle. They are the endings. They are sometimes visions. With the Cups and Pentacles, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, it's kind of like it's the vision. It's your dream. It's what you are pushing towards. It's what you're wishing for. And wishes coming true is what the Star card is all about. It's destiny in her beautiful sense. It's amazing, really. And especially with the other cards that we have here. I have the 2 of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Another Major Arcana card here. Now, for people that are very curious about Major Arcanas and stuff, you've had the most Major Arcanas out of the groups now that I've gone through them and whatnot. When you have many Major Arcanas, it tells me that so much change is here. It tells me that so much new things are here, okay? This is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's the turning of the tide, okay? The turning of the tide happens when you make these decisions and when you take action. There's a difference between just making the decision and actually following through and doing the action with it, right? That might be where you are. You have all these plans. You're like, okay, I want to do this, and these are the things that I want to, and I've made them actionable, but I haven't taken the action towards them. This is your intuition. You know you should. You know you can. Well, then do it, right? This might be that you're a little bit scared and you're like, should I do it? Should I not? Do it. Do it scared, but do it. Because this up in the mind that you are isn't helping. Is the best way to put it. It's just putting you where your things are a dream instead of reality. When they can become your reality, when they can become what it is that you're feeling, okay? This feeling locked in, feeling like you yourself are not just locked in, but there's other people watching? Like, what, like, oh, am I disappointing other people? Am I this? Who gives a damn what other people think about us? Truly. If I did, I would never do anything, right? That's the best way to put it. And it's not just me, but other people and everyone. If we stopped and thought about what would they think, then we'd never get anything done. No one would get anything done because they're worried about what the peanut gallery over there is talking about. Okay? You can talk about whatever the hell you want, but that's none of my business. Because I'm me, and what you think is your business. As long as it's not me. What you think about me is your own business. That's what you got to think about. That's what you got to do. Queen of Swords, do it. You may seem a bitch to other people. People might be like, I can't believe she's doing it. Because they're jealous. Okay? They're jealous or they want to be you. They wish they could actually take actions towards their own dreams. So why don't you? Because all they're going to work is they're just going to still be there. Plenty are still going to be in the same place without taking action on their dreams and just hating on other people because they can't muster up the courage to do it. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Especially when you have this beautiful stuff coming through. Okay, you know what you want, and intuition, and trust your guides and your spirits and your beings that are around you. Trust them because they're there just waiting for you to ignite. They're waiting for you to be like, all right, she's done this inaction. She's still processing her emotions, which is okay. But this determination that came through, like, damn, dude. Like, you gotta forge your own path. Like, that's on you. That's really what your guides are telling you. They're like, come on. Take it by the horns. Or tusks at this point. Living in Texas, we have what's called, not a boar population. We have a hog infestation. And it's actually around the U.S. now because hog was imported so that way it could be hunted. And whenever I think of hogs, I think of like the wild and the yikes that they cause and the problems. But this boar and how it's depicted, as I said here and as I do this, it talks about the determination that it's a majestic animal, that it truly does have its sense. And I've never seen one in person, or probably Google it, but the way that they depict it, that's what I'm going to go with. And that's what I feel, and that's what I sense that Spirit is trying to tell you. All right. Well, from this tarot, let's look at what will happen, right? We're going to ask one of the fortune-telling decks, kind of see what is the actionable stuff that's going to happen, right? Because I'm hoping to see with the 30 days, but it might happen a little bit after. But yeah, let's get to this. No, you or you? Okay. So, one second, I gotta sneeze. I definitely needed to sneeze. Sorry. Woke up on my cats all I'm like, how the hell? That one too. So, anyways, let's get into this. I'm gonna be using the Under the Roses Lenormand. It's beautiful. I love this deck. It's smaller hands, so if you're somebody who likes those type of tools or whatever, it's like amazing. Anyways, let's bring using my gifts and such. Let's see what will happen in the next 30 days or so. These cards back up. All right. You do it. Okay. Very interesting. All right. Who the hell are we removing? We have either a female friend that is not a friend, or we have somebody that we're buying a house from, somebody that we're having something from. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, for what we got, I have two ladies. Okay. And so this is two different ladies. Like I said, in this deck, I kept both pairs of people. So basically, both the gentlemen's, both the ladies, and both the children, or child's. And for me, it feels like it's different ages or different things, or it gives me descriptions and stuff like that. So, two ladies that are of two different statuses. One is more mature, one is a bit older, one is maybe in her 30s or 40s, and such. Okay, this is somebody who is maybe in her 30s and such, and the other one just happens to be maybe in her 20s or slightly younger. That's what I'm gonna take that as. Either you are meeting a lady, for the masculines, but for The feminines, we're dealing with multiple women here. We're dealing with multiple females. We're dealing with multiple lady friends. We're dealing with who we think are friends, okay? This could be mother. This could be parents. This could be family, especially with the house here. Okay, the house usually signifies stability. It signifies that. But I feel like this is more disstability. This is whatever... Okay. With the house and both the ladies here, and feeling like what else I came out, because the last card that came out was the sickle. This is removing things that don't serve us, removing people, things, such things that do not serve me in my present, in your present, in nobody's present. This is a person that literally is trying to be somebody they're not. They're trying to act like they're your best friend. They're trying to act like they have your best interest at heart or something, and they are not. Okay, straight up. That's what I'm gonna say, okay? But in case that's not you, and yours is more of like, oh, you have like multiple women in the household, whether it's your mother, whether it's your sisters, whether it's your thing, and they're just, causing disharmony in your house, then figure out what's best for you. Figure out what's best for you. What you need to remove. Do you need to leave? Do they need to leave? Does somebody else need to leave? Can I find my own place? Can I do that? What's this disharmony? Is there types of fights or such? Like, what's going on? Okay, I don't see fights, but when I see both ladies in the house, because it's like that, right? Especially because it's the Ace of Spades, or the Ace of Clubs. Not spades or clubs. Spades, yeah. When I see that, it's two people conspiring against each other, two people trying to figure out who's tougher, trying to figure out what's up. And the house, I don't know if this could be very, very specific. It could be that somebody is trying to sell you a house and you don't trust the person. If you don't trust the realtor, just swap. Okay, straight up. Just in case that's for like one person out there. That's what that is. Just know that. But if you're somebody that it's more like there's many, many women in this household, it may be your sister-in-law, that's it might be that just a lot of problems are in the house, or a lot of problems are things, or you're going into a home because you're marrying into the family or such, and you're realizing this house isn't what you thought it was on the outside. You feel like you're having to travel, or there's a hard journey, or you're feeling like there's just so much movement, and to get stability, it's like you're having to find things out. You're having to learn things. You're having to almost be a spy and find stuff out, because I'm having the journal and I'm having the anchor. So usually this is like secrets revealed, or secrets, stability in the ship. Usually the ship is just journeys, whether long, whether short, whether that, especially in the Lenormand. In some instances, the ship means a journey to opulence, right? But for this one, that doesn't necessarily mean that. It means usually it's a longer journey and such. And coming right above the ladies in the house, it's almost like it's read like this. Like this. So we have a house and journey and finding a home, finding your stability, finding your place in this home and in this place. It could be that the mother-in-law is here, right? And you're trying to find your place as this is going to be your home, and she's just causing you so much pain. Or your sisters-in-laws aren't allowing you. This is forge your own path. Take control of yourself. If you're like allowing someone to go past your boundaries, allowing someone to mistreat you, then you need to cut those things out. Straight up. Okay, that might be for 1-2 people. But for other people, if you're trying to find a home and you're having to feel like you have to go far, or there's so much more work for you to find a home because you can't find the house of your dreams, you can't find the thing that you desire, go find more information over it. Go understand other places. Where would you like to set these roots up at? Where do you feel more stable at? Is it that you need to leave that community, that state, that country? Hell, I don't know. Find the things that work for you and what needs to be removed. If you need to start anew, it's okay too, okay? That might be the decision of why you're questioning and you're inactive. You're like, do I have to leave this community and it's the only place I've been my whole life, right? If you're small town or like pueblito or something small, like that totally can be the reason. But there's so much more waiting for you. Why don't you do it? There's still questions. So figure out a plan before you just jump ship. Okay, make sure you take in with your intuition what you know and what's that. But if you need to wait around, it's sometimes what takes, right? Sometimes it's what it is. And sometimes you're like, what do I need to do to forge, to continue, to make my way, to do the things that are necessary? Okay? If it's just fake friends that come over to your house and say shit about your house, and they're like two-timing, they're like, oh, I would love to buy this house. This is none of your business. That's not a friend. Bye. Okay? They're commenting on your decor and your decorations and such. Like, use your intuition. If they're trash, kick them out your home. Don't invite them back. They ain't a friend. They might also be spreading rumors about you at one point or another, okay? So, that could be for one person. But just know, believe in yourself, and know that you're about to find some secrets in this stability that you may never have known, okay? Let's see what else we got. We have the garden, things coming out okay, and then here we have the child. This is more like, I feel like it's toddler. Unfortunately, I feel like it's toddler. Like, not new birth, like new baby. No, this is like, what's the best way to put this? It is people of color, which is nice. Like young child. So like if you've been looking for a birth of something new in your life, it's here, it's starting, and just continue because it's gonna grow with you. It's gonna get better, and nobody can take it from you. So whether that's a house, that's a place, that's your ideas, that's you finding things out, whatever it is, you're gonna find it. Whatever this decision is that you've been thinking about and such, take the actions and take the steps. Go towards that plan that you have made, because you made one, okay? You made a pros and cons list, maybe. I feel like Spirit is telling me there's not about the pros and cons list. It's more about you've made the plan and you're like, I'm gonna do this. But you've just been sitting and like, is this attainable? Yeah, it is. Okay? Make sure you do your research, and with that plan, take those steps. Do it! I'm excited, especially for your dreams to come true. All right, y'all. I hope that this helps out, and I hope that this catches your attention and that it makes sense. But yeah. Oh, wait. I forgot to pull your runes. Like what? Oh, I forgot to pull runes. Let's see what energy you will take for the next 30 days. Okay, yours feels like 30 days. All right, we have... Wow! We have here. All right. Whoever's selling a home in this group, I would love for you to comment on the YouTube and be like, it was me. Or like, yes, I sold my home, or like, it worked or something, or if I got it right. If I didn't, that's okay. You don't have to. Or if you're shy, it's totally fine. I get it. But I'm curious, because what problems in this home are we having? All right? So it's not the only energy we're taking. All right? This is Hostilia. Okay? It's prosperity, heritage, dwellings, and such. But when it's upside down, it's your frustrations, it's your legal problems, it's, I don't know if anybody's being sued or if an older woman is saying that it's her home versus it's yours. You know, sometimes you get the weird things where the ex-wife is trying to sue the ex-husband when he gets married. Like, it gets weird. It just, I've heard so many things. Like, let me tell you, this is not my first, I am not no spring chicken. As the joke goes by, as a very Texan, I ain't no spring chicken. This ain't my first rodeo. Okay. Being from Texas, this ain't my first rodeo. Okay. Like, I've heard so many types of things where people sue exes and people this and people that. Not to say that that's exactly what's happening, but in case that is your situation, there is so much more that you can attain and get your shit in order. In case this is about paperwork and getting in order and the suing process and whatnot, get your shit in order and you will win. For real. Straight up. Because what I have here is you reaping the rewards. This is Jera, or the year. And Radio, which is the wheel, turning. This is the change of seasons. So whatever legal battles, whatever heritage, whatever like frustrations you're having, and the recklessness you're feeling and stuff, and the hassle and feeling like people are bugging you at home and stuff, and people are gossiping about you and whatnot, know that you are going to reap the rewards. Know that truly people are realizing who you are as a person, that you don't stoop that low, that you don't do this. Keep your boundaries and be like, I don't care what the peanut gallery says. I'm going to keep to myself my own things and whatnot, and I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep doing what I desire and stuff. I'm going to have that happiness, and I'm going to have the things that I wish for in my life, okay? The wheel, because that just, it makes sense with the Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, The Wheel of Fortune talks about kind of like the life cycle, basically, like from beginning to end and continuing. So that's what that is. Yeah, I hope this helps you out. And now I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. I was having a moment. But yeah, that's what I got. That's what the energies are. I hope that this helps you out. Understand that whatever this is that's coming through, it's okay. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I hope that this helps out. All right, yeah.